Hello, everybody. I see a couple of people were waiting, so I think we have a few people on so far. But I wanted to pop in and do our monthly little crafty chat because I'm getting more and more people asking kind of almost the same question or the same topics anyway. So I figured it would be I have a couple of topics that I've already kind of been keeping track of, and then I asked earlier today in the Facebook group as well as on YouTube what you guys wanted to chat about. So I'm going to go over some of the things that I already have written down, questions that I commonly receive, or is that even right? Receive often. Let's say it that way. And then if you guys have anything you want to chat about, or if you have any questions on anything, feel free to ask at any time. So the first thing that I get a lot of questions about are design teams. All different kinds of questions. How do I get on one? Should I get on one? Hi, Mom. Hi, Amanda. How to go about doing it? What do I need in order to be on a design team? So all sorts of design team questions. So design teams are not for everyone. Hi, Marcia. So keep that in mind. So if you have no desire to be on a design team, don't do it. It's not a requirement in order to have a blog or a YouTube channel to be on a design team. I like being on design teams, but I also like the ability to do my own thing. I like to post videos when I want to post them, what I want to post them about. Pam, you made it. Out of so many lives, I don't think Pam has ever been able to catch one. I'm so happy she's here. I look forward to Pam's comments on every single video I post. I love to hear her stories. I love her comments. I love all your comments, but so in order to be on a design team, a couple of suggestions that I would have. If you have never been on one and you're looking to possibly start your design team journey, I should say, I would definitely start small. Hey, Simon. Start small in the fact, start like a smaller team. You don't want to get on one that has 40 members because you may get lost in the mix. I was very, very, very lucky where I started as far as design teams go. They were fairly small teams and they were super helpful because I knew nothing. I knew nothing going into it. So and you don't always know how many people are on that team, but take a look at their blog. See how many people are posting to that blog. If you have a different person every day and you haven't had a repeat in 3 weeks, you probably know that their team is quite large. I would definitely start with a smaller team. And when I say small, 8 or less is usually a good team to start on because everybody helps each other. Wow, 1,024 days. Nobody's counting, right? And also look, typically when companies put out a design team call, they will let you know what the requirements are right up front. So if it is requirements that are a little bit too much for you, just don't apply for that one. Most of them are really doable, and I've been very lucky, very, very, very lucky with every design team I've ever been on. They've been helpful. They've been not super strict. I've heard horror stories, and I've never run into that. So I'm very, very lucky with the design teams that I've had the opportunity to be on. And Teresa from Scrapping for Less was my very first design team. I'm sure you guys all know that by now. And I could not have been on a better first team. And now I'm on Simon Hurley's Create team, and I love that team. And that's a small team too, and that is so helpful, especially whether you've been doing it a long time or not. But sometimes it's a little bit easier to start with those smaller teams because you will have questions. Even if you've been on 20 teams, you're still going to have questions starting a new team. But you get the general idea of what is required. So what is a design team? Basically, you are representing that company. So for example, Simon Hurley's in here. I'm on Simon's team, and I get some Simon Hurley Create products, and I create videos using those products. I love teams where you get to kind of pick, and Simon does do that. It lets us pick whatever we want to use. And I love that because I love all of his stuff, but some certain days you're in the mood to do flowers, and then another day you might be in the mood to do ink blending. So I like that freedom. Depending on what mood I'm in, I kind of get to do whatever I want. And that is most teams. So you receive product in exchange for your projects. How does that benefit you? It benefits you with exposure and experience. Wow, 116 days. Wow, Susan, you're really getting there. So you'll get exposure. They'll post your projects on their social media, and they will kind of promote you, but at the same time, you have to keep in mind that you're representing them, and they're trusting you to do that. So don't ever pick a team where you don't love their products, ever. Get to know their products. You may never have used them, but take a look at their website. Take a look at what they sell. If it's something that you can be inspired to use, then that may be a team you want to look at. Don't settle for a design team just to settle for a design team, because you don't want to get stuck in the, oh my gosh, how am I going to get through this month? I'm not inspired at all. And don't get me wrong, not every single product you receive you're going to love. But for the most part, if you like that company or like what they produce, it'll be much easier for everybody. And so they're trusting you. That company is trusting you to represent them, and you're trusting them to kind of do the same for you. So it's teamwork. It's a team. Rejection. It's a couple different ways that you can get on a design team. A lot of companies will have design team calls where they'll announce it on Instagram and announce it. I know there's a Facebook group, design team calls. I think that's the name of it. Be a member of that if you're looking to be on a design team, because a lot of companies will post there along with their blog post about that. So you'll know what the requirements are, when it starts, how long the term is. Because some of them are 3 months, some of them are 6 months, some of them are a year, and some of them are indefinite. You just stop when you stop, or they stop when they stop, you know? So that might be something you want to take a look at too. Some companies require a video every week. Some of them require every other week. Some of them require once a month. So do something that you can accomplish. Don't work yourself to death to meet design team requirements, because that will benefit no one, and it won't be fun anymore. So rejection. So you can apply to design teams, and then also there are some companies that may reach out to you, not necessarily to be on the team full time, but they may be looking for a guest designer. Those aren't something that you typically apply for, but if you apply for one and you don't get it, which happens, I know it's not a good feeling. It's never a good feeling to be rejected with anything, but keep plugging away. And the good thing, the good thing about being rejected is, number one, they know you're interested. So the next time they need a guest designer, or what if somebody has to drop out from the design team, they still have your name. They still know you're interested. They may reach out to you at a later date. So it never hurts to apply. But rejection may or may not happen. But don't give up. Don't apply for one. If you're rejected, give up forever. They get so many applicants, and they can only choose a handful of them. So just know that rejection is just part of it, but you will find one. I'm just reading comments here. My channel just exploded after a hack video. Yes, so certain videos are going to blow up, and they're going to give you a whole lot of subscribers and a whole lot of comments and a whole lot of everything, times 10 what you're used to, but it will slow down, unfortunately. I had one a few weeks ago, the embossing techniques with embossing powders. I don't even remember the name of the video, but that video did very well. And it got me, well, in like the 2 weeks after I posted that, I got like 1,000 subscribers in 2 weeks. So yes, my channel grew very rapidly for a very short period of time, because now it's slowing back down. I'm getting just, a few a day. But you'll get another video that will blow up, and then you'll get even more subscribers. That's just kind of how YouTube goes. But you'll get there. You'll get there. So, what do they look like? Was still proud of myself for trying. Yep. And keep trying. Don't give up. Don't give up on just because one company rejected you. They could have had 150 applicants and maybe could choose 5. That's the odds are very low. You could be the most talented card maker in the world. Your odds are still low with numbers like that. But I can tell you that design teams and companies, what they're looking for, they're not just looking at your talent. They're not. You don't have to be the best of the best of the best. You have to be, I wouldn't apply if you just started card making yesterday, but I would give it a little experience anyway. But you don't have to be the best of the best. You have to be consistent. So if you have a blog, for example, don't post once every 3 months. They're going to look for a little consistency, because they want to make sure that you're going to be able to meet the requirements that they have. If you don't have time to post to your regular blog, how do they know you're going to have time to post to theirs? So just be consistent. It does not have to be every day. It does not have to be every other day, but 2 to 3 posts a week, if you have a blog, is ideal. It doesn't have to be super intricate of what you do. You just want to have some photos and a brief overview of what you did. Speaking of photos, they want to make sure that you can take good photos, which takes practice. I looked the other day, I scrolled back to the beginning of my Instagram, and I can't remember why. Oh, I was talking to Renee and Amanda. Renee from Delaney Jane Cards and Amanda from Rise and Procrastinate. And they're both closing in on 500 subscribers on their YouTube channels. So they were kind of chatting with me, what should they do to celebrate? And I was like, I don't even remember what I did. So I scrolled through to see what I may have posted on Instagram. And some of my pictures of my cards were terrible. I used to take them on my dining room table. No lighting. I had no lighting. I didn't edit the photos either. I didn't even brighten them up or anything. So it does take a lot of practice, a lot of just experimenting of what's going to work for you. I don't use any fancy camera to take my photos. I use my phone. Couple of things that I've learned along the way is to, whatever background you're using, backdrop, I think they call it in photography, you don't want anything too dark, because that's going to darken up everything. I'm sure you've all taken photos of a card that was done on black cardstock or even craft cardstock. Sometimes they're really hard to photograph, and that's just because of the dark colors. It's hard to make something look bright when it's dark. So try your backdrop or whatever your background you're using. Mine is kind of like an off-white, and honestly, it's just a piece of paper. I got it at Hobby Lobby. I was using scrapbook paper, but sometimes when I make multiple cards, it's hard to fit 5 or 6 cards on a 12 by 12 sheet of scrapbook paper. So I was in Hobby Lobby, oh my gosh, before Christmas, way before Christmas. Because I was getting Christmas stuff. So it was way before Christmas. And it was almost like scrapbook paper, but it was much bigger. I can't remember the exact size, but it works so much better. So something like white, off-white, like a beige color even, but something very light is going to brighten up your photos automatically. If you're still having a hard time having them be nice and bright, you can always brighten them with a photo editing app. I don't edit my photos as far as taking out my mistakes. You guys know. You watch my videos. I never edit out my mistakes, because why? All of a sudden, you see my card one way, and then 2 minutes later you see it a completely different way. No, you're going to have to know what I did, what I messed up on in order for that card to change. So I do the same thing with my photos. I don't edit out any mistakes, but I do brighten them up. I brighten up all of them. So when you brighten it up, you want to change the brightness, but when you change the brightness, you're also going to want to change the contrast, because when you brighten it up, you're going to lose some of that contrast. So increase the brightness, increase the contrast, and you're good. So they're going to look for photos, not only just one photo on your blog. I personally, when I mean, I can't speak for everybody. When I'm looking at a blog, I like to see multiple angles of the card. So I like to see one straight on, or maybe even two straight on, maybe one from an angle, maybe one from the other angle, especially if there's dimension. I want to be able to see that dimension. That's what makes that card that card. So different angles. If we use a shimmer pen, that's not always going to show in a photo, but sometimes if you just change the angle a little bit or zoom in a little bit, you may see that shimmer, which I want to see that shimmer. So try different angles for your blog post. You don't have to put every angle on Instagram or every angle on Facebook, but on your blog, I definitely recommend at least 3 photos of your card. Teresa, I just missed your comment. It disappeared on me. But if you guys have ever been to my blog, and I don't even know if this works, I've just always done it this way. I always have one. Where's the card? All right, let me grab a card. So here's my card. Will have it flat like this. Then I'll have one a little bit closer, but it tipped to the side. And then I'll have one like this. So the camera would be like, if this is laying flat like this, I have the camera like this. So you can kind of see the dimension, see the shimmer if there is any. So little tips like that will help. Also, there was another thing that just popped in my head and it popped right back out. Props. Props for your photos. I don't mind looking at props as long as the card is the star of the show. I still want that card to be the star of the show. I don't usually use a lot of props. If I use Copic markers, I may put 2 or 3 markers in the shot with it. I rarely put the stamp set. I used to, but with all this AliExpress stuff going on, I stopped putting the stamp set because I don't want them to be using my photos to copy the stamp set, and I don't want them using my card to sell their counterfeit stamp sets, so which has happened before. So I stopped putting the stamp set in there, but I may put like a couple of markers or an ink pad or something. And I also raise my card, and I raise my card with my setup is really, really fancy. It's a piece of pattern paper, and I prop up my card with a distress ink pad. Flat, standing up, straight on, or at an angle. I know a lot of people use a light box, so you pretty much have to do it standing up, which is fine, but I would still try, depending on how big it is, because I used to have one a long time ago, and I found that I wasn't really able to take too many angles, so I always lay mine down, and I prop it up with a distress ink pad, which I do have in front of me. So literally, I put this down, and I put the card on top of it. And this will just raise it up from the background. And again, make your card stand out from that background just a little bit. So those are my tips for taking photos and making sure that you have a couple of different photos to look at, especially if you got that dimension or that shimmer or something that's going to stand out. Yeah, contact paper, that's also great. There's contact paper that has like marble and something subtle, something with a little bit of a background. You don't want it too busy because, again, you want the card to be the star of the show, but it gives that little something to the background. It makes it look a little bit more professional. So does anybody have any questions about anything, or did I miss a question that I didn't answer, because they do disappear quickly on my end. And by the way, off the topic, I am still working on trying to get a setup to craft live, but my problem is that I would have to use my phone to record, and then I wouldn't be able to see the comments. I don't own an iPad or anything like that. I'm working on it, but you guys know my craft budget is this big, and the craft budget is just not not big enough for an iPad right now. And I have a desktop computer that's all the way over there. That's not going to work. My TV is way over there, so that's not going to work. So I'd have to do either a lot of rearranging or figure something else out, or have to break down and buy an iPad, which I'm trying to avoid. But I will if I have to. Frankie is, do I have a mailing address for P.O. Box? Yes, my P.O. Box is actually on my blog, and it may even be on the About section of my channel. And it's also listed in the description box of the Caring Card Makers video. If you guys know what that is, that's the card drive that we're doing every month. I provide my P.O. Box for that, so you guys can send in cards if you choose. Pam, I have one designed, and I was going to. Okay, so as most of you know, I'm having an event, like an in-person event, the first week in May, in Albany, New York. Most of you guys already know about that, but I have been researching, and literally I work on this for hours and hours and hours every day, for goodie bags and stuff like that, and giveaways, and it's hard to find stuff to put in the goodie bags. So I was going to design my own stamp set, and then everybody would get that stamp set. How do I make sure I stay in frame? So I work on I'll get back to the stamp set in just a second. I work on a self-healing cutting mat when I do my recording. So when I get my camera ready, and I usually keep my mount the same exact way, so all I got to do is pop on my camera and I'm good to go, because I already know it's already set up from the last time. And I just make sure that whatever I can see through that camera is my entire cutting mat. Pretty much my entire cutting mat. So as long as I stay on my cutting mat, I'm pretty good. I will zoom in when I color, and I occasionally do go off camera a little bit with the coloring when I'm zoomed in. But for the most part, as long as I stay on my cutting mat, I'm good to go. And I use a cutting mat, and I got it on Amazon for just a couple of bucks. The cutting mat I have is 16 by 11. Oh no, 18 by 12. It says it right on it. I was using the measuring thing, but it does go off a little bit. And what's weird is that you take your photos on light color background. Try to do your videos on dark. I know that makes no sense, but trust me, it will make a difference, especially if you do coloring and you're wanting to show the products. It won't cast so much of a shadow. Do you get your package? Yes, you can do that too. If you're working on a bigger mat or a bigger work surface, you can always put like some washi tape right beyond where your camera frame stops, so you know not to go beyond that washi tape. I've done that too. So back to the stamp set, Pam. So I was going to just design my own. That way I didn't have to purchase them, because let's face it, buying 25 to 30 stamp sets is a lot of money. So I looked into designing my own. I had it all drawn out, and then I priced it. And because I only need a very small amount, and I may never order from them again, it's not like I'm a business and I'm going to continuously order. The price was very expensive. So I opted not to do that. But if the event is a success and I continue to do events, that might be something that I look into, so that I can just, give my own stamp sets, and that will save me some money. Because an event is not cheap. You think you have all of these numbers figured out. I mean, I had list after list after list after list, exactly how much it would cost if I had this many people. I estimated how many people I'd have, and it's costing a whole lot more, but it's okay. We're going to have a great time. Hi, Renee. Hi, Amanda. All right. So any other questions before I move on to, I only have one main topic, but kind of like two topics within that. How many do I have so far? I don't know the exact number. I want to say because there was 2 people who had to drop out, unfortunately. So I want to say 24-ish right now. 24, 25-ish, somewhere around there. But sign up is still available. So I'm not going to cut it off at this point. I was going to cut off sign up on March 1st, but I actually talked to Amanda from Pear Blossom Press, and she's like, why are you cutting it off so early? I'm like, I'm trying to justify it, but I really don't know. So I did extend the sign up for another couple of weeks. So if you guys have not signed up for the event and you are looking to come to the event, make sure that you go over to my blog and sign up, because when space is gone, space is gone. So anyway, all right, so next topic is, I know this is a really broad topic, but it's YouTube and monetization of YouTube. So a lot of people will ask, at what point can I start making money? When can I start making money, whether you have a blog or YouTube? I don't believe my blog is monetized. I know there's a way to do it, but I really honestly don't know how. I don't concentrate on my blog as much as I concentrate on YouTube. So I know for YouTube. So Renee says never. You will eventually be monetized. A couple of different requirements that YouTube has in order to monetize your channel. And a channel is monetized when you see the ad in front of, or now I think they do 2 ads most of the time. When you see those ads before the video, that's a monetized channel. So in order to become monetized, you have to have a minimum of 1,000 subscribers. You need to have an active account with YouTube for 1 year. Does not have to be a channel, just as long as you have an account. So if you've been watching YouTube for years and commenting for years, you're good. And then you need 4,000 watch time hours in the last 12 months. So you can check your analytics to make sure that you have that 4,000 watch time hours. All it really takes is one very popular video and you'll get those watch time hours with no problem. No. Okay, so, all right, so the first question, blogs. Blogs are important, especially if you don't have a channel. Blogs are still important. There are many, many, many teams that look for blogs. And if you don't have a YouTube channel, that's how you're going to share how you did it. You can share pictures, but then you're going to get the questions, well, how did you do this? How did you do that? Well, here, go to my blog. And your blog, you can list all the products you use and explain how you did it and take multiple photos. You can even do video clips on your blog. So no, I don't think blogs are irrelevant anymore. They do seem to be not quite as popular as they used to be, but I think that is because not everybody, but there's more and more people trying YouTube. So blogging is kind of getting left behind, but I have a feeling that that's going to change because quite honestly, there's a whole lot of people who start YouTube that don't stick with it. Nothing against that. It's just a lot of people don't realize how much work it really is. Especially if they're not getting the results that they were hoping for immediately. So that's when you become monetized. Oh, there was another question too, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, do you have to show your face to be monetized? No, I never showed my face. I don't think I showed my face. I think I had my channel for about a year. I was already monetized. And I think the first time I showed my face was at Creativation. So I had started my channel in February. I went to Creativation that January, and that was the first time I showed my face. And I was on top of the world at Creativation. I mean, I didn't care. And you won't break the camera. So that's how you become monetized. So what does that mean if you're monetized? It doesn't mean you're going to get rich. It doesn't mean that you're going to make a whole lot of money. In order to get paid, you have to make a minimum of $100 for that month. But if you don't reach that $100, that money rolls over to the next month until you hit that $100, and then YouTube will pay you. I can tell you for the first at least 6 months that I was monetized, I did not make that $100 in the month. I would get paid every other month because I was not making $100 a month. And I can tell you, even now, a year and a half later, or a year and a couple of months later, I'm still not making much. It does fluctuate from month to month, depending on how well your channel does, or if you have one of those super popular videos. I think there was one video, it was my 3rd video ever, and you guys have heard me talk about this too, because it was super embarrassing that YouTube all of a sudden decided to push this video. The lighting was bad, the voiceover, or the lack of one, I should say, was terrible. There was like a minute and a half of just pure silence, because if I didn't have anything to say, I just didn't say it, and it was just bad. It was really, really bad. But a few months ago, YouTube decided to suggest this video to practically the entire world. And it ended up getting like 79,000 views or something like that. And that video went up long before I was monetized, and I still made money on it now that I am. My mom's talking about her iPhone. You will get there. You will get monetized. It does take some time. And I talk to a lot of newer YouTubers, content creators, whatever you want to call us, people who do YouTube videos. I talk to a lot of you guys, whether it be in my Facebook group, whether it be through Facebook Messenger, emails. I get a lot of you guys reaching out to me, and I have no problem with that at all. I tell each and every one of you, the first 1,000 is the hardest to get. Once you reach that 1,000, YouTube will help you. YouTube will help you. So, for example, I made a few $100s on that particular video, even though it was actually posted long before I was monetized. But that was probably the most I ever made on one video. It was a few $100s. Most videos are like $5, literally like $5. And if you take into consideration the stamp set alone, yeah, it doesn't. You're not gonna get your money back. So. I keep losing my train of thought. I forget where I was going with that. But yeah, $5 is $5, absolutely. But oh yeah, the first 1,000 are the hardest to get. So take one of your videos, like a technique video. And if you have less than 1,000, only if you have less than 1,000, and search that technique in YouTube. So I used Amanda's as kind of a test. Amanda did, myself, Amanda, and Renee collaborated, and Amanda, Rise and Procrastinate, Amanda did a wax paper resist. We did old school card making techniques. So I searched wax paper resist card making, and I had to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll until I found Amanda's. Even though hers was the most recent, she just doesn't have those subscribers. So YouTube is not going to put her right on the top of those search results. Once she hits 1,000, or even once she hits 500, it'll be pushed up a little bit. Then she'll hit the next milestone, and it will be pushed up a little bit more. So the hardest is to get the first 1,000, because you have to do it all on your own. YouTube is not going to help you just as much. They help you a little bit, but they're not going to help you that much. You're going to have to post in Stamp Junkies. You're going to have to post on Instagram, recruit people. When I started my channel, I had so many people subscribe to me from my job. They never watched my videos. Yes, tagging. Tags are so important, because that's how people are going to find you. They're not necessarily just going to look by the title, because I can name it whatever I want, but if they're searching for something else, if I call it a Simon Says Stamp Card Kit in my title, but they're looking up SSS Card Kit, they'd never find mine unless I use the tag SSS Card Kit. So tag everything you can. Every single technique that you did, every product you used, every company, product, everything. anything you can think of. But once you hit that 1,000, I promise you that you can, it will start growing on its own. So keeping in mind, like I said, you're not going to get rich off of this. There are plenty of people, crafters in our community. I don't want to talk YouTube in general because, you know, there are some channels that have like 1 million subscribers. We're not going to get there with the card making channel. I promise you that. But there are a lot of card makers and crafters who do this for a living. Hey, Jess. And do make enough money on YouTube and affiliate links and all of that to be able to make an income to do that full time. I'm not even close, not even close. So if you want to put that into perspective, no, I don't have a huge, gigantic channel, but kind of seeing how many subscribers I have and how often I do post videos, and just so you know, I just don't want anybody to go in with the expectation like, oh, I can quit my job in a year once I become monetized. No, don't quit your job. But another way that you can make money is through affiliate links. Pam, I don't think she's going to do that again. She was so terrified. She did great in the video, except for when it was time to do the voiceover. We had to do the voiceover many, many times. She had her stack of inks that she used in her card, and as I'm doing the voiceover and we're talking back and forth, she's tapping it on the table. You can hear all of that, but she's not used to it. It's stuff that you learn along the way. But affiliate links, that's another way that you can make a little bit of money. Like I said, it's not going to pay all your bills, but it will at least compensate you a little bit for what you put into your video making. So if you didn't sign up for affiliate links, you don't have to have a YouTube to do that. You can have a blog to get affiliate links. First place to start is Share a Sale. ShareASale.com. What you'll do is you'll create an account with Share a Sale itself. Share a Sale is actually the main website that many, many companies, not all, but many companies use Share a Sale to have an account. So, for example, a Ranger, I'll use Ranger. I log into my Share a Sale account and I have all of the companies that I have affiliate links for. Ranger, you know, Ranger, you guys know Ranger, they have an account within Share a Sale as well. So I have affiliate links through Ranger, and I click on Ranger and I can get my links, and you'll get a certain percentage for every sale. So if I link one of Simon's stamp sets and my mom says, I want that stamp set, she clicks on the link and she buys that stamp set, I would get a percentage of that sale. Amanda, you have no idea how much I'd want to do that. I would love to have like my own stamp line. But you need a whole lot of money to get started, and I just don't have it. Even like a card kit, because you guys know I did the, Share a Sale is one word, share a sale. Don't put any spaces between it. ShareASale.com. Set up your account with them first, and then you can do merchant search and apply to the separate companies within ShareASale. There's a lot of them in there. What was I going to say? Oh, a card kit. So I know I keep getting off topic, but that's what happens when I'm live with you guys. I did the kit week, and I love playing with card kits. I love kits. And I always think in my head, if I can take a little bit from this kit and a little bit from this kit and a little bit from this one, we'd have the perfect kit. So I've always wanted to have my own kit. But again, it would cost me so much to get started that I don't know whether it would even be successful. And then I would end up with all this product. So yes, so every video I list all of my supplies. So it will be like, I usually add to the description my blog and any other information. Sometimes I link to other channels. If I say, oh, I got my inspiration from this person and I link their channel or their video, or if it's a hop, and then underneath that will be the supplies. Not all of them are going to be affiliate links, because if it's not on, I'm still going to link to it, because if you want it, I still want you to be able to find it. But they're not all affiliate links. Yeah. So for example, what video did I have today? What video did I post earlier today? Wow. Oh, the tulip layering stamp set. So I linked all of my products. They are not all affiliate links, but because I used Simon Says Stamp, I typically will link everything Simon Says Stamp as much as I can. Simon Says Stamp, because if you wanted that stamp set and you wanted the embossing powder I used, why should you have to go to 2 separate places? I'm going to try to find everything from that store. Same thing when I do Simon. So I'll try, every Ranger product I use will be linked through Ranger. Everything else will be linked through scrapbook.com, because scrapbook.com sells Simon stuff. So I don't want you to have to go to multiple stores to get the stuff that I use if you're looking to start it. Or if you're looking to, I'm reading comments at the same time and I'm actually saying out loud some of the words I'm reading. But so I try to link everything in one spot. So if you wanted multiple things, one stop is all you need to make, one shipping cost. That's the main thing. So I missed those comments because I was trying to read them as I was talking and they disappeared. But I did see Amanda post something about a Kickstart. I don't know. It's something I do want to do, but I don't know. We'll see. It is something I've always thought about, because especially people who have a similar style to mine sometimes struggle with certain kits. Not certain kits, like certain branded kits, certain months, I should say, because every month is going to be different, which I guess is normal, because if it's not your style, it's not your style. But, you know, I wish I could take a little bit of all of them and make one great, awesome kit. Pam, you're too funny. But that's also, affiliate links are also a way to make a few dollars, again, unless you are, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of YouTubers, a lot of craft YouTubers that make a ton of money with affiliate links. And those are the ones that are typically doing those review videos. Not necessarily review videos, but I guess more like, this is the product I'm using, this is what we're focusing on. And when you see those videos, or even comparison videos, things like that, those are the ones that make a lot of money on affiliate links. I've done the review videos before. I haven't in a while, because I don't know. I felt like I'm not a salesperson. I'm a crafter, and I'll tell you my honest opinion about things. Well, that's a lie too, because bringing up negativity is our next topic, and this was actually suggested in my Facebook group, talking about negativity. So if I don't say anything at all, if you directly ask me about something, I will say whether or not I like that product or not, but that will be my opinion only. I can promise you this: I will never, ever, ever, ever suggest anything in my video that I don't enjoy working with, either because it's a really good product or I saved a bunch of money on it. Because sometimes there's certain things that we can compromise on if it's like dirt cheap. I mean, at least I'm that way, but they're all my opinion. So I try not to do the review videos that much. I'd rather just sit down and either focus on a technique or focus on a card, because I love building my scenes. So I'd rather just take a stamp set. There's not too many supplies involved with my cards, really, for the most part. But negativity, and this is going to happen. It's just going to happen. This community is getting bigger and bigger, which is a good thing. But I would say 95% of the people that I've met, either in person or through YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, design teams, maybe even more than 95%, have been nothing but supportive and kind to one another and encouraging with one another. And they are just the most kind-hearted people. I don't think that we could be a part of a better community. I'll get back to that in just a second. I'm going to write it down because I keep forgetting. Choosing between releases. But with that 95+%, there are going to be a few negative people. I've worked in customer service my entire life, ever since I could legally work. And there are always going to be some people in this world that are not happy until they make you miserable. And those comments are going to come. Whether you're new to YouTube and haven't gotten them yet, I promise you that that you will eventually get a negative comment. My theory is I brush it off. Everybody's going to handle it differently, and you handle it the way you want to handle it. Some people ignore it, which is fine too. It's better than ignoring it than starting an argument with anybody, because it's just not worth your time. You're going to see negative comments in Facebook groups like Stamp Junkies and stuff, and usually they're removed because there is no room for negativity or mean criticism. I don't know whether you can tell who gives you a thumbs down. I don't think so. I've never really looked. Thumbs down used to bother me. Doesn't bother me in the least anymore. Doesn't bother me at all. I get a thumbs down, at least one thumbs down on just about every video. But it doesn't bother me anymore. And honestly, negative comments, or they're not always negative. Some of them are a little sarcastic, but they get their little dig in. So they may word it like they're trying to be nice, but you know what they really mean. And I just say thank you, or, oh, well, not everybody has the same style. That's usually what I say. Like, I would never do that. I don't like the stamp set, but you did what you could. Well, everybody has a different style, and that is true. But if I'm watching something and it's not my style, I can still appreciate the work that they're putting into the card, the work that they're putting into the video, their techniques, their talent, their skill, whether it's my style or not. But yes, there's always going to be some unhappy people, and those unhappy people like to bring people down with them. Don't let them. Brush it off, ignore them. I think the worst thing to do, though, is calling them out. My thing is, like, I've seen people do it, and that's fine, but you know, I've seen people call certain people out on social media, maybe not so much YouTube, but like Facebook and Instagram, where they'll tag them and show the negative comment and all of this. It's like, I don't see the point of that, because you're stooping down to their level, if not lower, by doing that. So I just brush it off, and you never know. Maybe they're just having a bad day, or maybe it's a typo and they didn't mean to be as negative as they actually came across. So I know it's hard to say, but just try not to take it too personally. Yeah, nobody needs any more drama. You know, if they're not happy with what they saw, well, you can almost guarantee they're not going to watch your video again. So you don't have to worry about it again. They don't like you. They don't like your channel. They don't like what you create. Take the rude comment, and you're probably never going to see another comment from them again. And that's fine with me. So that's another thing, is subscribers who unsubscribe. Your numbers are never going to stay the same. There are spam, I don't know, accounts on YouTube. And I'm sure those of you who have YouTube have gotten several lately, because it's like every video I watch is like the same type of comment from the same type of account. Well, those are subscribers. And when YouTube recognizes them as fake accounts, their accounts get deleted, but so does your subscription. So nobody unsubscribed to you. So if you see your number fluctuate up and down, it's just kind of YouTube behind the scenes making it even out. It's never going to be 100% accurate. Never. Especially right after a hop or right after a successful video. It always takes a little bit of time. Yeah. I want to be YouTube friends. I'm like, no. So yeah, you're going to get those. Don't stress it. Your subscribers come because of you. Don't underestimate yourself, and don't not give yourself the credit. If somebody suggests your video, or recommends that, oh, I saw this great card by so-and-so, go check it out. They're still watching because they want to watch. They're still subscribing because they like what they saw. They're not subscribing because that person told them to. Because nobody's going to make me subscribe to somebody. I may watch their video, and if I like what I saw, I'm going to subscribe. But that person suggested it, just introduced me to this new YouTuber. They didn't force me to subscribe. So don't give yourself the credit. Give yourself the credit that you deserve, because they're not going to subscribe unless they want to. So when I was first starting out, Desiree from Include a Thank You gave me a shout out in one of her videos. She was coloring with alcohol markers, and she said, I'm no pro at this. But my friend Courtney, I'll link her channel below. And literally I got like 25 subscribers from my drive to work. And then that was a huge amount for me, because my channel was very, very small at that time. And I gave her all the credit in the world, but they wouldn't have subscribed unless they liked what they saw. So just make sure that you're giving yourself the credit, because you're doing the work. You're producing the cards, so just keep that in mind. So that's my little, oh, you did, Diane. That's so funny that I'm even talking about that. But, like I said, I don't have the biggest channel in the world. But which is actually kind of good, because I went through the things that some of you guys, the newer channels, are going through now. The frustrations, the anticipations, like, oh my gosh, I bet you this video is going to be big and it's going to get me 30 subscribers, and then it doesn't happen. I've been through it. And it wasn't long ago that I went through it. So I can kind of relate to you guys, and I feel like I'm in a position where I can relate to you guys and give you some pointers, because it wasn't that long ago. Oh my gosh. You guys are funny. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Pam, you're hilarious. All right, so that was my whole spiel. That's what I basically wanted to talk to you guys about. I see so many people either giving up blogging, YouTubing, sharing, all of that stuff when things aren't progressing the way you want to progress. Trust me, it will. It will. It just takes time. And you have a ton of support, because I can guarantee everybody that's in this chat right now is more than willing to support any of the newer channels, any of the newer blogs, any of the newer Instagram accounts, or whatever you guys, however you guys share. Even if it's just how do I do this or how do I do that? I guarantee that I'm not the only person sitting here thinking that I'll support you, I'll help you as much as I possibly can. There's others that will too. I know a lot of people reach out to some of the big names. And I just did that because that's what people call them, for help, whether starting a channel or whatever. And sometimes you don't get a response back. Don't get discouraged, and it's hard not to be a little frustrated, but just know that they're busy. I can't imagine how busy they are. I just can't even imagine. And probably if you write them an email, I imagine they have a whole lot of spam, because I know a lot of stuff goes in my spam folder and I don't always see it. So just keep that in mind. You're more than likely not being ignored. It's just probably something that they haven't seen. Or they just haven't had a chance to get back to you. But I promise, just ask around. I didn't have the guts to do that. I didn't. Nobody knew who I was. I didn't even have an Instagram account when I started my YouTube channel. So I couldn't even reach out to anybody and be like, hey, this is my, this is my Instagram. Go check out my stuff. What should I do? So nobody knew who I was. So, I mean, I guess I could have, but I didn't. I did things a little backwards. Oh, Simon, me too, because I have my personal account and then I have my, I guess you can call it a business account that's linked up with my Instagram, and I don't get notifications. When people send me a message through my business account, I don't ever get a notification on it. So if you ever send me a private Facebook message and I don't get back to you within several hours, because I can't always respond to them immediately, but if I don't get back to you like in that day, try messaging me on my private one because I don't get notifications for it. Pam, you don't do Facebook. I'm not, I don't know. I go in, I don't know, phases, I guess, with Facebook. I love it and I hate it at the same time. There's spam folders on Facebook. I didn't even know that. They're probably all in there. Never even knew that there was a spam folder. Wow. Learn something new every day. Oh, good. I'm not the only one. Facebook page manager? See, I don't even use that either. I only use my business page to post my cards. I don't usually post like personal stuff there. I created my first event page though, and I messed that up too. Because I don't think anybody can join it unless they're invited to it. So the people who are signing up to go to the event, unless I'm friends with them on Facebook, I can't invite them. So I don't know what I'm doing. I totally messed it up, and I don't want to start a new one because all the stuff is posted there. So it is what it is. But so if you guys are going to the event and you're not part of the Facebook event page, let me know. I will send you an invite. So does anybody else have any questions? No, wait, there was choosing releases. Somebody asked, I wrote it down and I still forgot to answer. Somebody asked about how do I pick between releases? Do another video talking about the event. Yeah, we're going to go live from the event too. So anybody who's comfortable being on camera, we're going to go live from the event, provided the Wi-Fi is good enough. And so it'll be lots of fun. Ooh, lemon bars. I love lemon bars. So where's the event? The event is in Albany, New York. So how do I choose between releases? And I'm going to give you my very honest answer. I don't buy much. So I don't buy much, not because I don't want it, because I want it all. I want all of the releases from all of the companies. But I'm not lying to you when I tell you that my craft budget is very, very small. And half of it is taken up with a kit. I do get the Simon kit. I've gotten my Simon kit for so many years. I can't even tell you how many years, and I just can't give it up. And so my craft budget is very small. So my craft budget, the last month or so, or actually 2 months, has all gone to the stuff for the event. So I haven't bought myself anything. But I am lucky in the fact that I am on design teams and I get to continue to put out content and have fun and create cards with stuff that is at least new to me. And something just fell. I don't know what that was, but so I am lucky enough to be on design teams where I get to still create without having to spend a ton of money. But yeah, my craft budget is very small. Design teams don't pay you in money. They pay you in product. So, and every company is going to be a little bit different. I know there are some I've never personally been on a team that actually pays you, but I know there are some. I just don't know who they are and how much they pay. But I know, like, maybe some of the huge companies. I don't honestly know. But they do pay you in product. So you get the product, you create the projects, depending on what your requirements are for them. Sometimes they let you pick what you want. They may say, you know, go and pick 5 stamp sets or go pick 5 die sets, whatever. And others will give you whatever, and others will give you everything. All right, bye, Simon. Have a good night. And then other companies, depending on how many, it usually depends on how many projects you have to do. That will depend on how many they actually send you. So how do you get on a design team? We actually, this was actually the first topic we talked about, but just quick recap, apply to design teams. You can join the Facebook group Design Team Calls. Also follow the hashtag on Instagram, hashtag Design Team Calls. And that way, anytime a company has one, they'll post there and you'll be able to see that. Just make sure that it is a company that will work well for you, because you're representing them, they're representing you. You want to make sure that it's a good fit in the product, what they're selling. So that's something that you can work with, what their requirements are, what their terms are, and all of that. And just give it a go. The worst possible thing they can say is no. That's the worst thing they can say. So it's definitely worth a try. I love being on design teams. I have met so many people from design teams and made so many friends from design teams, not just the fellow designers, but also the owners of the company. Simon was just in here. Teresa's in here. They're all design teams that I've been on, and I'm very, very fortunate to have been on quite a few, and made a lot of friends. Pam, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. So, yeah, choosing releases, I really don't. If you are, I know that there was I'd love to get on to him, but that's okay if you're new. I was very new, very, very new. The only thing that you'll want to do is, and I don't know whether you're doing a blog or YouTube, but just be a little consistent, get a little established, I should say, and just give it a go. Like I said to everybody before, if they say no, they will still know you're interested. So if 3 months from now somebody had to drop out of the design team, or 3 months from now they're coming out with a release and they need guest designers, guess what? They already know you're interested. So who's going to be the first one they reach out to? So it never hurts to apply. Never hurts to apply. I will never, ever, 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 ever forget when I got the email from Teresa, saying that I got accepted to her design team. I will never forget that moment. I can remember exactly where I was standing. I remember every single moment. And my mother was in Arizona at the time, which, mind you, is a 3-hour time difference. And I got the email in the morning, and I called my mom, and it was like 4:00 in the morning, her time. And I was so excited. And yeah, rejection, unfortunately. Oh, Jess, we could have been on another design team together. Eventually, we will be. Oh, they're awesome. Pam, they're amazing. Oh, Jess, you have no idea. Honeybee, for those of you who know me, Honeybee was always my dream team. Like when I first started this, I said, someday I'm going to make it on the Honeybee design team. And I still thought that was many years away. Based on who they have on their team, I'm like, I can't compare with them. It's still many years away, but I'm going to apply anyway. Again, they'll know I'm interested. Never imagined in a million years. Never. but they would know I was interested. I have guest designed for them before, so I figured why not. And I actually like found out very quickly, very, very quickly. And I couldn't sleep that night. I called my mom again, super late at night. Late, not early this time. I was shaking. That was my dream team. And I just love Honeybee. And I love Melissa, the owner. I love Lisa, who is the design team coordinator. And I already felt like I knew them a little bit. And I know some of the other girls on the team. It's just an amazing team, amazing company. Their products are so, so good. You're right, Pam. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. But it's hard because I'm not the, I guess there's, the community and the industry is primarily women. I'd say probably about 90% women, if not more. We all know how women can be. We can be moody. We can be cliquey with one another. And I'm not like that. And I never really have been. Like, you can ask my mom, even in like high school, I was never, even in elementary school, I never had my clique. I had my best friends, but I hung out with anybody. I would hang out with anybody as long as they were decent people. And that's still how I am right now. So I'm not part of any clique, which a lot of crafters end up getting part of, especially when they are in design teams. So it's very hard to kind of go into it. It's a little intimidating. I don't want to say it's hard. It's a little intimidating going into such a large team when you do question it. Like, is my following big enough for this? Because that, a company like that looks at how many followers you have. How many people are they going to reach by you putting out a video? So I'm very, very grateful. Very, very excited and grateful. And I was on cloud nine. I did not sleep one wink that night. I laid there and tossed and turned, and I'm like, my heart was in my throat. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to tell people. But I had to keep it a secret for like 2 weeks. So it was tough. It was really tough. Yeah, Beth, I'm the same way. I've always been like that. I've never been cliquey. I'd rather be acquaintances or casual friends with everybody than just have 2 or 3 really good friends. Oh my gosh, Jan, that's amazing. That would be so much fun. Sorry, I'm playing with my phone case. So, yeah, I think a lot of us are. I think a lot of us have that same kind of personality, and that's why, for the most part, everything is really positive. But I know there was a couple of negative comments that I've seen on. So, Pam, you're so funny. You crack me up. But yeah, I've seen a couple of negative comments on some of my friends' channels and blogs and stuff like that. And I have to say that it bothers me because I know it bothers them. And I don't like that. I don't like, because I know how hard they're working and I know how hard they're trying. And to see somebody put them down, I don't like that. You can give me all the negative comments you want. It doesn't bother me at all. But it bothers me when I see somebody working so hard. So, but that's all I got. Does anybody have any last minute questions about anything? It doesn't have to be anything that we discussed today, but it can be about anything at all. And I know my comments, I don't even think I mentioned this. I usually mention it like 15 times within a live, but I didn't mention it this time. My comments are delayed. So when you type something and it goes through, I don't see it for about 20 seconds or so, and then it disappears very quickly. Oh, Frankie, Macy was in here earlier, but she is out in the living room. Frankie is sleeping. He did get up. He walked in here very, very tired, and he plopped down on the floor, and by the time I went live, he was back in the living room. He is doing much better. Frankie was, for those of you who don't know, Frankie is one of my cats. I have 2 cats, Macy and Frankie. Frankie is my baby. He's not a baby. He's not a kitten. But he is my baby. He's got some health issues, so I baby him a little bit more than the other, and he loves it. He had to go to the vet last week, and he had a reaction to the shot. And he was very, very lethargic. And he's a mama's boy. I mean, he's with me all the time. And I would talk to him, I would pet him, and he would just stare straight ahead. And it scared me. He wouldn't eat, and he's a pig. This cat will eat anything. Anything you put in front of him. He eats Pop-Tarts, he eats mashed potatoes, he'll eat just about anything. But he wouldn't eat anything. I went to the store and got him all of his favorite things. I got him ham, I got him turkey, I got him tuna, I got him anything just to get him to eat, and he wouldn't eat. And it scared me. And then on top of that, he had a seizure that day, which he is epileptic. It's not like it's only seizure. But I was terrified, and I wouldn't leave his side. I was really, really scared. But he took a couple of days to get totally back to normal, but he's back to being Frankie. Are you me? Stamps that who sent you? Me? I sent you stamps? I could have. I send a lot of things. Yes, he is doing much, much, much better. He was very playful earlier. He's given me high fives again. Yes, he does. I taught him how to, I told you, he's a big eater, so he'll do anything for treats. I taught him how to give high fives. I taught him how to stand up, sit, all of that. But he's my boy. He is my boy. I'm surprised he doesn't hear me talking about him. He's usually right up on this desk. All I'd have to do is play around with the Copics and he'd be up here. He loves to watch me color. He's my little crafter. I don't remember what stamps I sent you. I don't remember what stamps I sent you. Especially if it was like a year ago. I don't remember what I did yesterday. Oh yes, definitely food motivated. Definitely. He's only like, well, he did gain a little weight. He did gain, oh yes. Yes, you're right. That was so long ago. So for those of you who have not been subscribed to me that long, it was a little over a year ago. I did a craft room tour and I showed how I used to store my stamps, which were in CD cases. So any of you guys who have been crafting for a long time, you may remember when people stored them in CD cases, and I couldn't get anybody to just take these CD cases. So I'm like, comment if you want them, I'll send them to you. I got like 30 or 40 people that commented, I'll take them. And mind you, I still get comments every once in a while. But so I just split them between everybody, and I had so many packages that went out, but they all got a few. Oh, I love those names. 21 years old. Oh my goodness. Frankie's 10, and Macy is 12. But Frankie's life expectancy is a little bit lower because of the epilepsy and the medication he's on. Oh, you're so sweet, Maria. She's a stamping fool lately. She loves her craft room, and I'm so glad. Because after retirement, she was getting a little bored. You know, she was shopping for a while, and that was fun, but then you can only shop so much. So I'm very glad that she's gotten into card making. And she's sending cards. So some of you that we know addresses for may receive a card from me, may receive a card from my mom, may receive a card from both. Yeah, we're going to have so much fun at that event. What I like about it is that it's not, even though we are going to be kind of teaching each other, we're going to be helping each other. It's not a formal class where anybody has to feel superior or inferior. Everybody's just at the same level there to have fun. That's all it's going to be, is we're just going to have lots of fun. Lots of fun. So, all right, does anybody else have any additional questions? I can't believe we've been on here for over an hour already. These lives go by so fast. That's okay. I'm hoping that there will be more. I'm hoping if we can make this one a success and that everything runs smoothly and I'm not out $1,000, that we'll be doing more. The event is in Albany, New York, the first weekend in May, May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. It's a 2-day event, and then Friday evening is just dinner and a meet and greet, getting to know each other, no crafting that night. Saturday and Sunday will be crafting. It's a little after 9. Well, we started at 8, right? So it's got to be a little over after 9. Yeah, so yeah, 9:15. Oh, wow, he's getting out of the military. That's amazing. It's so fun. It's so fun to talk to everybody who's all over the world. Oh, wow, all different ages there. South Carolina's not too far. I know there's a lot on the East Coast. Where am I located? I'm in Albany, New York, upstate New York. Oh, Nancy, you're nice and close too. Yeah, so everybody's asking me, well, not everybody. I've had a couple of questions. Am I still going to have the event with the coronavirus going around? I have no plans of canceling the event unless this becomes like so crazy out of control. I don't think that's going to happen. We still got almost 2 months to the event. I think it's all going to be taken care of by then, or at least very much contained. So I don't think that we're going to have to worry about the coronavirus as far as people traveling. So I think we should be okay. But yeah, no, yeah, like Renee said, there is one rule. Do not bring it with you. No, I will have hand sanitizer everywhere if this thing is still going on by then. I'm thinking that it will probably be good by then. But yes, there will be hand sanitizer at multiple stations. Oh, Maria, you're so sweet. I can't wait to meet you guys. I'm so excited to meet you guys. Yes, soap and water, antibacterial soap, hand sanitizer will be good. If you so much have a sniffle, don't come. I'll reimburse you. Don't come. Oh my gosh, around here you can't get hand sanitizer. There is no hand sanitizer anywhere. And then I checked Amazon. I'm like, oh, I'll just order some on Amazon. $399 for 12 of those little mini ones that you put in your purse. $399 or $299, something like that. It's like, wow, they're really taking advantage of the situation, huh? Yeah, I've been washing my hands like crazy. And you know, I understand that it's not like the what do they say? Like there's not so many people dying from it. But I still don't want to get sick. I don't want to get sick and be laid up in my house for 2 weeks. Oh, Amanda, never knew that that's all it was. But now that you say it, that makes a whole lot of sense. I have both of those things. I'm going to make my own. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, people are really, really panicking. I mean, they have cases in New York State. No, not near here, more downstate, but I think from what I've heard anyway, all of those people are can be traced back to one another. So it was kind of, from what I've heard, I don't know how true that is. So hopefully it'll be contained. We don't have to worry about it, but you are not allowed to bring the coronavirus with you if you are coming to the event. Yeah, it's mainly older people. I still don't want to get sick though. I just don't want to be sick. I don't even want to have a headache. So I certainly don't want to have the coronavirus. So, all right, guys. Well, I think I haven't seen any new questions come through, so I think we should be okay. I don't think anybody has any additional questions, but as always, if you do after we sign off here, or if you are watching this on the replay and you think of anything or want any kind of clarification or clarity, is it clarification or clarity? Whatever. If you want more details on anything that we talked about, you guys know how to reach out to me and how to get a hold of me. Feel free to. I may not answer immediately, but I promise you I will get back to you. There's a share a sale affiliate link. Renee, I'll message you because I have no idea how to get just a random share a sale link. I'll message you as soon as this is over. I've been doing this a lot longer than you, and I don't know. All right, guys, have a good night. Bye.